It's all good. Dale, she tripping. Go ahead on, Dale. I don't know why she be acting up. She wait good till we get live and then she start tripping. Like, go ahead on, Dale. This is not the time. Do that like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't do it at 12. Oh my God. Dale is a mess.
She's been holding it up.
Yeah. In her behind.
She's been holding it.
She sure has. Good afternoon, everybody. If you're coming on, I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button. Please do me a favor, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. Let them know Prophet Ramone, the squad, and the Ramonepreston show is live on this beautiful day, because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. This has been a spectacular week. We started this week off talking about the 3 styles of entrepreneurial growth. The 3 styles of entrepreneurial growth. And then that was Monday. Tuesday, we talked about the relationship between holding companies and real estate investing. I help you understand how important it is for you to not only understand holding companies so that you can have your businesses structured like a holding company, but I also helped you understand how important it is for you to connect the relationship of a holding company to real estate investing, especially if you have a desire to be an investor. Whether you want to invest in business, whether you want to invest in stocks, crypto, bonds, or some type of investment outside of real estate, what I have learned in my years as a real estate entrepreneur is that understanding the world of real estate investing really helps you to understand the world of business investing or stock investing, because there are a lot of similarities, which brought us to our show yesterday where I shared with you the 8 most important terms and concepts. Although the terms and concepts are for real estate, but I showed you how there's a correlation between real estate terms and concepts and business terms and concepts. And so it's been easy for me to convert a lot of the real estate language, a lot of the terms and concepts in real estate, a lot of the principles that I've learned in real estate into the business world, even though some of the words are different, even though some of the language is different, but the principles, fundamentally speaking, are the same. So if you're coming on, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Shout out to all of my Facebook tribe members, family members, friends, all of my YouTube tribe members, family members, and friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of our show, for being a part of this economic movement that we are helping so many people get the information they need, get the training they need. We're helping so many entrepreneurs take their businesses and their ministries to the next level. And I'm so humbled and honored to have this opportunity. And so for those of you that are new, let me welcome you to the Ramonepreston show. Of course, I am your host, Prophet Ramonepreston, and we come to you every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon, sharing with you the most important information regarding financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, investments, and even family legacy wealth building. All of what I talk about, all of the topics that we discuss on the show every Monday through Friday are a part of my personal playbook, which is in our Blueprint Game Plan program. And so this week we have dedicated our shows to discuss principles and practices that are directly connected to the real estate investing arena. I am a real estate entrepreneur. My wife and I have been in the real estate industry for over 18 years now. And that was the gateway that I used as a real estate entrepreneur to understand the world of business, because almost every industry is connected to real estate. You got to connect with bankers. You got to connect with lawyers. You got to connect with tax strategists and CPAs and title companies and inspectors and appraisers. You got to connect with other institutions just to make a real estate deal work. And so I realized very quickly as a real estate entrepreneur and my wife as a licensed real estate professional, I learned very quickly that real estate is a good gateway drug to get into the other areas of business, other industries, and to really succeed. And that's what has brought me to where I am today. Even though real estate is still our bread and butter, we have done just about everything you could possibly do in real estate. We have been a part of just about any type of real estate deal that you can think of, small and large. And that's one of the reasons why I like to make a connection for people like you between entrepreneurship or business and real estate or real estate investing. And so today, I'm going to talk to you about real estate, but I want to show you why real estate should be or can be and is your ideal investment. Just in case you're thinking about investing for 2021, just in case you're thinking about taking some of that stimulus money, some of that income tax refund, or some extra cash you got set aside, just in case you are thinking about taking that money and investing it somewhere. First of all, I would highly recommend that you don't invest not nan dime until you get educated about the area that you are anticipating to invest your dime into. I don't care if it's real estate, cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds, other businesses. Even if you talk about investing in yourself, whether it's through education and training or coaching and consulting, you still need to be educated on what type of education you need. You can invest in yourself in many ways. You can go buy some designer clothes and say, oh, I'm investing in myself. You can go upgrade your house and say, I'm investing in my house. You can go get a new car and say, I'm investing in my transportation. It doesn't mean it is the right investment. So whatever the type of investment is that you're thinking about doing, at least in 2021 and beyond 2021, one of the first things I want you to do is take a step back mentally and make sure that you're making an educated decision. You got to make sure you're making an educated decision. Once you take that step back and you start going through the process of identifying with what is the best information that you need for the type of investment you want to make, I can almost guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you, I can just push the envelope and say, I guarantee you, there is no investment that you're making that somewhere on the trail of that investment is not connected to real estate. I guarantee you, it's connected to some type of real estate. And now that we're in this digital world, think about it. We're not just dealing with physical real estate, we're also dealing with digital real estate now. So there's certain space, real estate, that you and I are going to be occupying in the digital world. But there's still a place for occupying space, assuming and acquiring real estate properties in the physical world as well. And so if you have a desire to invest in real estate, if you've thought about it before, whether it's you just wanting to have one rental property in your neighborhood or close by you that you can check on every week or so and just have a tenant in there so you can start making some extra passive income, or whether you just want to go full time as an entrepreneur in real estate. You might want to get into flipping, wholesaling. You want to be a landlord. You want to own multifamilies. You want to own an office space. You want warehouses, or whatever the type of real estate is. It's still centered around real estate investing. And so I want to show you today why real estate can be the ideal investment. Why real estate can be the ideal investment. Now, if you have any questions, here's what I want you to do. I want you to dial the number 678-922-1963, extension 1. That's the number I want you to dial, 678-922-1963. 1963 extension 1. That's if you have a question. If you want to ask me a question about real estate, if you want to ask me a question about holding companies, if you want to ask me a question about financial literacy, if you want to ask me a question about any type of investing, whatever the question is, I'll be more than happy to take a shot at it and give you the best answer I can. Even if that answer is, oh no, I'll still give you an answer. But feel free to call in, 678-922-1963, extension 1. If you click extension 1, this phone right here that I have in my hand on this live show is going to ring a ding ding, and I'm going to answer it. And I'm going to give you the best answer that I possibly can for whatever your question is. So, Prophet Ramone, why real estate can be the ideal investment? Well, I want you to look at the word ideal. That's the word that we're going to use today to help clarify why I believe real estate can be the ideal investment. So the answer to this question, if you will, and the details that are going to help you clarify why real estate can be the ideal investment is in the word ideal. So the word ideal is going to be used as an acronym? Did I finally get that right? I always get it wrong. I think I normally say analogy. Has nothing to do with an acronym. No. So the word ideal is an acronym for 5 things to help you clarify why real estate can be the ideal investment. Which, by the way, all this information that I'm sharing, I tell y'all this almost every show, all this information that I'm sharing, it is in our Blueprint Game Plan program. I don't have the picture of our Blueprint Game Plan up. I have our coaching program picture up because we are in our first week of our coaching program. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because tomorrow will be the ending of the first week of the launching of our coaching program, and I'll give you an update and pretty much an overview or a debrief on how our first week went. But so far it's been good, hasn't it? We have had an amazing time. Everybody that we have conducted our initial one-on-one coaching session with this week has left that coaching session with a treasure chest of information, a lot of practical strategies and results. We're already getting responses from our coaching clients with results. So why real estate can be the ideal investment. Again, we're going to take the word ideal and use it as an acronym, because the word ideal is going to identify 5 reasons why real estate is the ideal, or can be for you, the ideal investment. So let's take a shot at it. The I in ideal is the first reason why real estate can be the ideal investment, and that is because of the income. The I is for the income. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. The I is for the income. This is one of the most important reasons why real estate can be, but in most cases is, the ideal investment, because of the income. The I in ideal is income. Income. When you purchase a piece of real estate as an investor, your ideal purpose is because of the income that this piece of real estate that it generates, that can ultimately be extra income in your pocket. Now, yesterday we went through the 8 most important terms and concepts, but even if you didn't watch the show yesterday, you can easily see that. For example, if I buy a piece of real estate and that real estate generates a certain amount of I as an income, even after the expenses on that property, even after the debt service or the mortgage on that property, I will still have a certain amount of what? Income that is considered cash flow, or ROI, which would be a monetary return on my investment. Now, the good thing about the income, the I in ideal, the income of a real estate property or an investment property, the good thing about that is you get it every month, because the tenants who are renting the properties, they pay every month. You know what I mean? So no matter where you're renting at, if you're renting, you have to pay your monthly payment. All right, unless you're renting a studio or some type of what do you call it? Extended stay suite, you're paying once a week. But even in those cases, you pay once a week, bi-weekly, or generally speaking, you pay once a month. So this is why income is the I in ideal to make real estate investing an ideal investment, because you get income. So when you purchase a piece of investment property, you're actually purchasing the income that this property generates. If you purchase an investment property and that property does not generate income and you still purchase it, you are making a bad purchase. You're making a bad investment. This is why you got to know the numbers behind each real estate investment. This is why you need to know the math. You need to know how to analyze that property. If you don't know how to understand those numbers and analytics, the math, the metrics behind a piece of real estate as an investment property, you don't need to purchase that property. All right. So income is the I in ideal, which is the first reason why real estate can be the ideal investment, because you're buying into the income. And this income is income that's going to come in every month. Think about it. Even if you invest in the stock market or you invest in some companies, you may only get a dividend either once a quarter or once a year. Even if you're investing in some businesses and you have an ownership interest, sometimes you don't always get a distribution or a dividend payment every month. It may be every quarter, or at worst, it's every year. But with a piece of real estate, you can actually, unless you're investing in a REIT or some type of other institution, but that's not a piece of real estate. If you're investing in a piece of real estate and you own that piece of real estate, whoever's renting that property is going to pay their rent every month. That means you're going to get income. That's why the I in ideal is income. All right. So let's look at the D. What is the D in the ideal investment for real estate? The D is depreciation. The D is depreciation. Depreciation is, I think, one of the most overlooked concepts that you benefit from when you are investing in real estate. What do you mean by depreciation? What I mean by depreciation is there are certain factors that play into that piece of property that causes the overall value of that property to go down. And when the value of that property goes down, let's say because of certain components, like the wear and tear of the property, like the materials, like the building itself, the value of that property is depreciating because that property at some point has to be updated. It has to be upgraded. Things are going to tear up. Things are going to get old. Things are going to stop working. We're not talking about like operational expenses that you might have or capital expenses that you might have. We're just talking about depreciation. And so the way real estate investing works is when you purchase a real estate investment property, all right, and you're the owner of that real estate investment property, and you have a tenant in that real estate investment property. Number one, you're getting monthly income coming to you from that piece of real estate. But you also have the advantage of using depreciation against that property. So for example, if you have a holding company, and your holding company owns a operating business that's out there making money, it's out there getting the bag, but then you have a real estate company or a LLC that owns a piece of real estate that you're renting out, right? Okay, so even though over here this business is making a lot of income, this business is generating a lot of revenue, well, your overall income and expenses are going to be weighed against all of the income and expenses of the businesses that your holding company owns. So when your holding company owns business A that's getting the bag, and your holding company owns real estate business B that might be getting the bag, but it has property that has depreciation. That means the value of that property is going to go down, that you're going to use to put against some of the income that's coming in to your holding company. And so it overall balances a lot of your tax liabilities. And in some cases, you're able to use the income and the depreciation and the other factors in that piece of real estate to offset some of the tax liabilities that you have. Now, if what I just said confused you, don't be alarmed. Most people are confused because they don't know enough about real estate investing. They don't know enough about wealth building. They don't know enough about structuring their holding companies in a way that they can actually offset certain income that they have in one business by real estate investing depreciation in another business. So the second reason why real estate can be the ideal investment is the D in ideal, and that is what? Depreciation. The third reason why real estate can be the ideal investment is the E in ideal. And the E in ideal is called equity. It's called equity. So think about it. You have a piece of real estate that you are renting out. You're getting the I in income coming in, right? So every month you get a check. You have the D in depreciation because every day that goes by, the value of that property is going down, which means you're able to use depreciation to hedge against the income that you're actually making on that property. Or if you have a holding company, you're going to hedge it against the income you have coming in from other businesses. But then while you're making income, while you're being able to take advantage of depreciation, you're also building equity in that property. How are you building equity in that property? Because every month you're paying a mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, then all you have is equity. So that means if you have a $100,000 piece of property that you bought and you put $20,000 down, now you're getting income from that property because the tenant is paying. You're getting depreciation on the wear and tear of that $100,000 property, but you're also able to gain equity because you started out with a $100,000 property that you put $20,000 down on. So that means you have an $80,000 loan on a $100,000 property. So how is the $80,000 being paid down? The $80,000 is being paid down by the income that's coming into the property, which means that $80,000 is going to continue to go down, but the $100,000 property is going to continue to go up, which means that spread is equity. Man, if y'all was just paying attention to what I'm saying, if you were just really listening to me, I know it sounds like I'm talking out the side of my head, but if you're in real estate investing, or if you have ever been a part of any type of real estate investment, you know exactly what I'm talking about is absolutely true. That's why nobody who understands what I'm saying can actually come on here and say, oh, he capping, he lying, what he's saying don't make no sense. It makes all the sense. And if you ever get into real estate investing, and truth is, if you get into any type of investing, if you use these types of principles that I'm giving to you, it's going to help you to make sure you make an educated decision for the right investment. So the I in ideal is income. The D in ideal is what? Depreciation. The E is equity. That's one of the reasons why real estate is an ideal investment. The fourth reason is the A in ideal. The A in ideal. The A is actually appreciation. The A is actually appreciation. Stacey Ivory said on Facebook, I totally understand, but not in real estate yet. I love that, yet. Well, when you get ready to get into real estate, if you need some education and information, we have all these training courses available for you in our Blueprint Game Plan. And we provide a one-year coaching program right now that we just launched that will not only give you access to our Blueprint Game Plan for free for the whole year, but you can actually have a coach to help you in the process of starting your real estate investment company. So the fourth reason why real estate can be the ideal investment is the A in ideal, which is appreciation. I kind of explained it with the equity because appreciation is when the value the value of the property goes up, but the note or the debt service on the property goes down. So let's go back to the example I just gave you. Let's say you buy a $100,000 property. You're going to use that $100,000 property to rent out. It's going to be your first rental property. All right. Let's say if you put, we'll just be real conservative. Let's say you put $10,000 down. All right. You found a $100,000 piece of property. You're going to put $10,000 down. That means you're going to have to get a mortgage for how much? $90,000. All right. Because you put $10,000 down, you're mortgaging the property for $90,000. Okay. Once you purchase the property, you have a $90,000 note, you put $10,000 down. That means you actually have $10,000 worth of equity already in the property. So if you look at the word ideal as an analogy, you're going to see it play out in this $100,000 property. Number one, you have income once you put a tenant in that property. Number two, you have depreciation because every year goes by, the value of that property is going to go down through depreciation. It's really not going down in value in terms of the income. It's not like you're going to get less. You're going to use the depreciation as a factor to bet against or hedge against your income. You have the E in equity because you bought a $100,000 house for $90,000 or for $10,000. You put $10,000 down, you mortgage $90,000. So you already have $10,000 worth of equity. Every month, the mortgage is being paid by the income that's coming into the property that the tenant is paying. The mortgage goes down, the equity goes up, which means, watch this, you have a spread of not liquid money, but it's paper money that you can actually use if you refinance or even when you decide to exit and sell the property. The appreciation is going to play a role in that, because every year that goes by, as long as you take care of the property, as long as the market conditions are good, there's a thing called appreciation. That's how you see a property that was worth $100,000 when you bought it is now worth $150,000 3 years later, outside of the equity, outside of the depreciation, outside of the income. It's just because of the market conditions went up. That means the value of your property went up. That means you took advantage of or benefited from the A in ideal called appreciation. All right. The fifth reason why real estate can be an ideal investment is the L in ideal. The L in ideal. If y'all have any questions, you can either go back and watch this video. You can either get the blueprint and take all the courses on real estate investing, or you could just call in 678-922-1963. Man, I am giving y'all some game today. I'm giving y'all some game. And I already know without a shadow of a doubt, because I have worked with so many investors, developers, so many real estate entrepreneurs, real estate brokers. I already know when it comes to real estate investing, if you don't have a simplified formula to do it, you're probably not going to stick with it. Because sometimes people make real estate investing look so easy because of how they talk about it and how they communicate it. But it's not until you start getting into it that you realize information alone when it comes to real estate investing is not enough. The big thing about real estate investing is the math, the numbers, the metrics. That's why if you can figure out some of the things that I'm talking about, we're talking about just simple things. If you can figure those things out, I guarantee you can analyze a piece of real estate investment property in less than an hour and probably find a deal in less than a day. I guarantee you, no matter what city you in, no matter what area you in, if you really understood the basic terms and concepts that I teach on real estate investing, if you really went through this same process that I'm taking you through, even with the analogy, isn't it analogy or acronym? Acronym. Oh, I can't get that right for nothing. The acronym ideal, not only will you be able to successfully analyze a property within an hour, but you'll probably be able to find a good deal within the first day. And that's without a license, that's without a lot of experience, that's without a whole lot of education. That's just with you knowing the most important things about real estate investing. So I gave you 5 reasons why real estate can be the ideal investment. And we're using the word ideal, which is made up of 5 letters, right? We're using the word ideal as an acronym for the 5 reasons why real estate can be ideal. The I is what? Income. The D is what? Depreciation. The E is equity. The A is appreciation, and the L is leverage. So let me explain to you how leverage works. If you wanted to go buy $100,000, this is an easy example for leverage because a lot of people miss this memo. If you wanted to go buy $100,000 worth of stocks today, if you want to go to your big bag and take $100,000 out of your bank account and go invest $100,000 today in stocks, how much money would you have to invest? If you want to go buy $100,000 worth of stocks today, how much money do you have to have? 100,000.
Wow.
If you want to go get $20 worth of gas, how much money you need? You can't buy $20 worth of gas with $5. You buy $5 worth of gas for $5.
Right.
You know why you have to pay $20 for $20 worth of gas? Because the gas company don't give you no leverage. If you want to buy $100,000 worth of stocks, you have to have $100,000. Even if the value of that stock goes up, in order to buy $100,000 worth of stocks, you have to have what? $100,000. In real estate, you don't have to do that. If you want to go buy a $100,000 house, you don't pay $100,000.
Yeah, that's good.
In most cases, you only pay 3%. If you have down payment assistance, you pay nothing. So let's say if you went and bought a house, let's say if you got approved to go buy a house, right? Even if it's a property you living in, or if it's a property you gonna live in, like a duplex, and you gonna rent the other side out. If you went and got pre-approved for a $100,000 house, and they say you have to put 3% down, right? Let's just say worst case scenario, you have to put 5% down on a $100,000 house. Guess how much that is? That's $5,000. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? You cannot go buy $100,000 worth of stock for less than $100,000. You can't go buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin for $5,000. You have to pay $100,000 for $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. If you want to buy $100,000 worth of bonds, you have to pay $100,000 for the bonds. If you want to buy a CD worth $100,000, guess how much you got to pay for it? $100,000. If you want to open up a $100,000 money market account, guess how much money you have to put in the money market account? $100,000. But if you want to go buy a $100,000 piece of property, if you get approved to purchase that property, let's say at a 5% down payment, all you have to bring to the table is $5,000 for a $100,000 asset. The other $95,000 is given to you by the bank, which is called leverage. So I can buy a $100,000 piece of property for $5,000. That's the L. That's leverage. That's leverage. Real estate is the only thing that you can actually do that in. You can't even go buy a business that's worth $100,000 for $5,000, unless they give you a loan and they say you could just pay payments. But no other business does that. This is why real estate can be the ideal investment for you. So if you're thinking about investing, I would prefer you to invest in a piece of real estate with that $5,000 than to go put that $5,000 in cryptocurrency or Tesla or Starbucks or what else we all put our money in, or I don't know, what's the other, Acorn and all this crap. Yeah, but you're just buying what you're buying. Whatever money you put in is what is in. Okay, it can become more, it can appreciate, or it can increase, but you're not at the point of purchasing it. You're purchasing the value of it. Real estate, you can use a thing called leverage. And so I can buy, think about it, if I have to pay 5% down, or let's say 20% down, I could buy $1 million property for 200 grand. 20% down, I could buy $100,000 property for 20 grand. If it's 3% down, like most people, you know, I don't even know. I'm gonna talk about this probably tomorrow or next week a little bit. But don't you know? Think about it. I'm one of the things that I'm gonna talk about. If not tomorrow, I'm gonna talk about next week, because I have a lot of topics on real estate that I just haven't talked about, and I think I'm gonna start talking about it a little bit more. But let me give y'all an example of something. One of my topics that I want to discuss, maybe depending on how I feel tomorrow and next week, is on the 5 types of investment properties. That's a topic that I might discuss. I also want to discuss the 5-point process for real estate investing. I got another topic on little to no money strategies, things that you can do with little to no money and get into real estate investing. But let me just give you an example. Think about this. If you found a 4-unit quadruplex, have you ever seen those types of units? It's a unit, you know, a duplex is 2 units. Right. That's a duplex. A duplex is 2 units. A triplex is 3 units. A fourplex is 4 units. But think about this here. A fourplex is considered a residential property. It's not a commercial property. So a 4-unit complex is considered a residential property, which means you can call mom, you can get with her and Latisse and get approved for a loan as a buyer for a fourplex. Let's say if you found a fourplex, let's say for $300,000. Let's say if you found a fourplex for $300,000. That means you could be approved for that 4-unit property for 3% down. Worst case scenario, 5%. 5% of $300,000 is $15,000. So think about it. You, just a person who's just getting up every day, grinding, doing what you got to do, you can buy a $300,000 fourplex out the door, $15,000 now, for a $300,000 fourplex, right? You can live in one and rent the other 3 out. The other 3 will be paying your mortgage and probably putting money in your pocket. And you living for free. I'm just saying though, I ain't even gonna go to that. I'm getting ready to end there. If y'all have any questions about real estate investing, if you have any questions about anything that you've heard me talk about with regard to the terms and concepts that we use in real estate, with regard to the acronym that I'm using today for the ideal investment as real estate. As a matter of fact, if you have a piece of real estate and you want to sell it, especially if you're in Georgia now, if you're in the Metroplex and you have a piece of real estate that you want to sell, or if you're in Metro Atlanta and you have a piece of real estate that you want to buy, whether it's residential or commercial, we can actually get you pre-approved. Especially with the residential, we can get you pre-approved. We have an in-house lender on our team. My wife is a real estate professional, licensed here in the state of Georgia. If you are thinking about purchasing a piece of real estate for yourself, or if you want to purchase a piece of real estate as an extra rental property to make some extra income and become a real estate investor, we have everything in-house. We can teach you real estate investing. We can coach you for real estate investing. We can consult you on how to structure your business as a real estate investor. We can help you find the property, close the deal, get the property managed, get it filled with a tenant. We can help you from A to Z. We got you covered. All you have to do is reach out to us. So if you would like access to our blueprint game plan, or even be a part of our 1-year business coaching program, I want you to reach out to me today. All you have to do is text the word blueprint or the word coaching or both to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. How did y'all enjoy today's show? Did you learn anything? Drop in the comments something that you learned today. If you're interested in real estate investing, or if you have a desire or a dream at some point in your life to get into real estate investing, please let me know by dropping that in the comments. And I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be praying with you. I think this year and the next couple years can be very, very ideal times for you to prepare yourself and to position yourself to get into real estate investing. And again, if you need to be approved or to get a pre-approval or to connect with a lender, we have an in-house lender on our team that we work with who's extraordinary. My wife, she is a real estate professional. She's a part of our team. She's co-owner of our company. So of course, she's going to be connected to you. But we can walk you through that entire process, from getting pre-approved for a loan, for finding and analyzing the right property once you are pre-approved, for helping you close on that property, and for helping you find the right tenant that fits the criteria for that property. We'll walk you through the whole doggone process. That's how cold we are with it. We walk you through the whole process. But again, you got to be serious. And I would recommend, if you've never done it before, while we're helping you in that process, this is why I would want you to be in our coaching program or be on our Blueprint Game Plan program, which ideally you would need to be in our coaching program so we can actually walk you through this process. It's a simple process. My wife and I, we have done it. We have been a part of it. We have seen these transactions take place so many times. We can talk about it in our sleep. We don't even have to pull up a PowerPoint to discuss it. But I love y'all. I appreciate all of you for your support. Tomorrow, I'm going to take some time out to give y'all a first week overview or summary of how our first week in our one-year business coaching program has gone. It's been phenomenal up to this point. Every day this week, we are conducting our initial one-on-one coaching sessions with all of the members of our one-year coaching program. And so I don't want to spill all the beans out today because we're just 4 days into this week. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. We have people we're coaching today and tomorrow. So once we complete our final coaching session tomorrow, we're going to make sure that we give you a summary on how this first week has gone. We already got testimonies. We already got things that are already up and running that people have literally implemented just in this first week. And think about it, there are 51 more weeks in this coaching program. If you want to be a part of a business coaching program to change and transform your life, to help you in your finances, to help you with your business, whether it's to start it, to restart it, to structure it, to restructure it, to scale it, to package it, to get your products and services developed the right way, whatever it is, to get your finances in order, to help you figure out how to get an increase in your income, anything concerning business and finances, that's what we specialize in. That is our core competency, and those are the primary points that we hit in our business and financial coaching program. I want you to reach out to me today if you know you need to be a part of this business and financial coaching program. I wish everybody, especially who wants to be an entrepreneur or a minister on any level in ministry or business, I wish everyone, at least at one point in their life, would hire a coach and a consultant to help them put their business and their ministry and the finances as well together properly. So many people fail just because of that reason. A lot of these entrepreneurs and ministers, they're not failing because they don't have a good idea. They're not failing because they don't have good products and services. They're failing because they just don't know how to properly structure it. You can't even imagine how many people I have sat in front of, all right, and have consulted, coached, counseled, ministered to, whatever the word is you want to use, helped, assisted, gave some wisdom to, prophesied to, whatever you want to say. As just countless people I have sat in front of who had great ideas, who had great ministry dreams, great business aspirations, but because they did not have a professional consultant or a professional coach or both to walk them through the real professional process of starting, structuring, and scaling their businesses, their ministries, from the branding all the way to the marketing, all the way to the selling, all the way to the expanding of their organization. Because they didn't have that, they subsequently fail, and I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I mean, almost every, I know it sounds like I be capping, because it's like you can't have that many people that you be dealing with, but it's true. It's so many people that I deal with and talk to on a regular basis, and sometimes it just be random conversations I'm having. But once they start telling me a little bit about their business idea, once they start telling me a little bit about their ministry idea, whether it's the name they came up with, whether it's a logo they put together, whether it's a website they done launched, whether it's some type of idea that they drafting, I can immediately identify where their blind spots are. I can immediately identify where they're missing the mark at. I can immediately identify with one or two changes that they need to make in order for them to actually get some momentum going in that thing that they want to do. But guess what? Because a lot of times they refuse to invest, ain't that's the key word? They refuse to invest in themselves. A lot of times I don't even say nothing. Many times I'll be like, I ain't finna say nothing to them. Why? You ain't investing in yourself. You don't care about yourself enough to invest in yourself. So if you sharing with me something, you just want me to give you some game, on the sideline, but you ain't willing to invest in yourself. No. You see how I can sit here on this desk and I can speed dial professionals and email and text and call professionals and get them to call me back and talk to me. You know why? Because I have invested in them. So they already know if Ramone is calling me, Ramone don't mind spending money. Yeah. If I tell Ramone I can give you this answer, but in order for me to give you help, it's going to cost you $1,000. They know Ramone going to say, send me an invoice. It don't matter. Because I don't care about the cost of something as much as I care about the value of what I'm getting beyond the cost. I'm looking at the value. It's just like a book. If somebody sold you a book that costs $1,000, like for example, if somebody, this is just a side note. If somebody, I'm really talking about the coaching program, because there's some people who just need a coach so bad. They just need somebody to help walk them through just the basic process of getting their finances and their business and their ministry ideas together and get it launched the right way, and they'll succeed. But if I saw somebody selling a book for $1,000, my first response is not going to be, dog, $1,000? You know why? Because I'm an investor. I'm a value person. I'm not a cost person. I'm not going to be like $1,000. You know what I'm going to say? Wow, it must be $1 million idea in that book. That's good. So now I'll pay that $1,000, and guess what? It could be 500 pages in that book, but it might be one paragraph that has the $1 million idea in it. I'll read that whole book to find that one paragraph. And once I get that one paragraph, I'm like, oh, there it is right there. That's the $1 million idea. That's the $1 million idea. You have no idea how many ideas I have received. And those ideas have become businesses and ministries and products and services because of like one statement I read in a book, or one statement I heard on an audio book, or because I was sowing a seed into somebody, and because I was sowing a seed into them, they always had me on their mind, and because they had me on their mind, when God gave them a revelation, they knew that revelation was for me, and then they called me and my wife and told us the revelation. We was like, Oh my God. But they was thinking about us. I love y'all. I want y'all to have an amazing day. Tomorrow's going to be an amazing show as well. Please hit the like button, hit the share button. If you have any questions, comments, you can put them in the comments, or you can just reach out to us at any time. We're always here for you. My goal, my game, my objective, my purpose, my assignment, particularly in this season of my life as a prophet and as an apostle and as a business entrepreneur, my assignment is to really educate you, to empower you, to inform you, to heighten your awareness on the most important things with regard to biblical economics. So I want you to understand financial literacy. I want you to become literate financially. I want you to understand the money game. I want you to understand entrepreneurship. I want you to understand business. I want you to understand what type of company you need to have established if in fact that's what you want to do. I want you to understand what we talked about today, investing, what the ideal investments are so you can make educated decisions and the right decisions for you and your family. I want you to understand the idea, the concept of family legacy wealth building. These are all the things that I've had to learn. I've had to ask God to give me revelation and insight and the strength to endure self-educating and to endure years of trial and error and research and development. And once I got it, I knew I was going to formulate systems and strategies and put together things that could be used as principles to help other people. So we're here for you. Feel free to reach out to us if you want our blueprint game plan, if you want to be a part of our coaching program, which comes with a free blueprint game plan. Text coaching or blueprint to 404-478-7213. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 12 o'clock noon.